I woke up this morning, decided that I was going to make for the very first time my expat confession video, and that is sharing with you some of these problems that I've been having about living in Denmark. For the last many years, I've been focusing only in sharing all the good things about this country, how it is to raise the kids, how amazing it is, and everything is set up for having families in the cities around Denmark. However, there are some few things, but to me, they're actually big challenges that even though I try, I cannot overpass them. And they are the ones that I need to kind of confront every day with my different culture about coming from Colombia and living in a country like Denmark. This first expat confession video is going to be about the problem I have about going to public swimming pools in Denmark. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you some of the few stories that I've had and encountered that have been like completely shocking, and that even today, after many years here and going repeatedly to these places, I cannot overcome the fact of how challenging it is to be in a public swimming pool in Denmark. So for those that are not very familiar with how Colombians are or how my culture is, on one side we're very loud normally, we're very open, we're very extroverted, we like to talk to everyone, and at the end of the day we end up being friends with almost everyone we meet. On the other hand, we have Denmark, and Denmark could be perhaps not only different from Colombia, but Denmark is probably opposite to it. It's a culture that is extremely reserved, is quiet, is private, is not that extroverted. On the contrary, I would say that Danes can be like introverted. Their houses, their private life is something that is very well kept in this bubble of the private life. Yet there is something incredibly interesting about these two cultures, and that is, what do each of these people consider private? Let's start with Danes, because they are the ones that are a bit more reserved, that they have their private lives, their family lives, their house life, and they consider private a lot of things. In Colombia, we're incredibly private with our bodies. We don't shower publicly, we don't run naked around the houses, we don't run naked around universities, which surprisingly in Denmark it is the norm, or it is at least normal to do so. Coming from Colombia and facing the Danish culture is that nudity, the actual human body without any clothes, is incredibly normal in this country. At this point, you might be wondering, what does that even have to do with you swimming in a public pool in Denmark? Well, it's just the fact that when you go into these public swimming pools, you're gonna need to shower without any clothes with many other women or men, depending of course of the type of bathroom that you're in, before and after swimming. Coming from Colombia, that was out of my mind. How would I remove all my clothes, stand up there, having 12 naked women around me, showering all at the same time, was and still is one of my biggest problems about living in Denmark. The whole experience about going and swimming with my kids keeps on being a whole project. I need to set my mind, I need to know that I need to go there, I need to enter, smile, occasional smiles to these people that I'm gonna see naked in a few minutes, and then all of a sudden just shoom, take off my clothes, go in front of that shower and mind my own business. But still, it is something that I cannot just do normally. I am awkward, I drop things, I don't really know how to behave, and even though I believe I'm very socially normal and I like to interact with people, that is that one thing that I cannot do right. Before we talk about family swimming, let me tell you some few examples about how I encountered this nudeness in the swimming pools and in the gyms in Denmark. And that was when I was starting to exercise by myself in this gym, and at that time I was not a mom, and after we trained, two pregnant women with their huge bellies were completely naked, and they stood in front of each other and maybe talk for like 5 to 10 minutes, just being fully naked with their big bellies and just putting creams and just like talking and laughing and sharing, but just having that type of connection with a friend where you just stand up naked, look at each other, share each other's creams, and then going out and just like living your life, that is still not something that I was prepared for. That was many years ago, and the image is still there in my head, very alive. The second encounter that I had with nudeness, and that was also years ago, was after also training in one of these chain gyms in Denmark. I finished my training, but I had to go down to the lockers, and then all these other women that have been in the same classes as I was, they were all naked. And then even though they have towels, of course, because they had just showered, they hadn't wrapped them in their heads. I know you have wet hair, but come on, I mean, we're so many women in the same room that why not wearing it here and just like walk around with your towel? But no, some had it like this, and one had it just over the shoulder and walking around naked. And now the real test happened when I became a mom and I needed to go to baby swimming. So you have this newborn around 6 weeks old, you're still trying to get a hold on the neck and how to hold and how to bend and where to put him, and then he cries and the diaper and then probably some gulp, and there are a lot of things happening around with this baby. Plus you are naked yourself. So you go to baby swimming, and that means that we are 8 moms, all with very newborn babies, and we have naked moms, naked babies, a lot of crying, a small space. That was the real test of me to know, can I actually confront my fear of being naked with so many women, try to act normal, and just go through it, go swim, and then go out again and face the same issue. Up to today, I have so many unresolved and unanswered questions to the whole swimming in Denmark that I don't know if Danes even know how to answer these questions. I don't know if other internationals have the same crazy head as I do and put so much thought about it. And that is, for example, who dresses first, mom or baby? If you need to bend, right? If you need to grab something, if the baby has started playing around, but you're fully naked, what do you do? Again, with the issue about the towels is that moms don't actually use this towel. They get dry, but then they put the towel next to themselves. So you are there standing full naked with a baby, and then you're dressing and stuff, but there are just too many things happening. I don't want to touch anyone's naked body, right? I don't want to just bump into someone else. So another question I have is, how do you engage? Do you actually like start conversations with them even though you're fully naked and you don't know each other? Are you expected perhaps not to talk to each other and then just like go through 6 months of seeing each other for every single week, and at the end just pretend we never saw each other? Did you go with friends to the swimming pools? That is also something that I can't get my head around. I have really good friends here in Denmark, and sometimes one of the very fun plans could be just to go all family swimming. But how do I go see you naked and then go out again and pretend I didn't see you naked? Last but not least is, what do you do when you go to the swimming pool and you see people that you've known from work or the other parents at the kindergarten? You're not actually friends, but you need to see each other in very different settings. So do you pretend you haven't seen each other, or do you just like, hi neighbor, I just need someone to help me to figure out these answers. I don't know what to do. I still have a lot of issues going to swimming in a public pool in Denmark. And again, this is just my expat confession. I've been trying to deal with this problem since I ever saw it for the very first time. So please, if you see me just acting weird, maybe pretend you haven't seen me, and then I'll just try to figure out if there is a better way to do so. So this was all for today. I'm sorry if it's just a lot of ranting. I'm sorry if this is just me that I'm having troubles about going into swimming pools in Denmark. But if not, if you've ever encountered these just awkward situations, just please shoot me a message, an idea, or just telling me like, you know, you're overreacting, this is just completely normal. The rest of the world has no problems with nudity, and then probably that'll just give me some strength to go forward and go to a swimming pool without being the weird of the group. Please either subscribe, share this video, tell others that have been encountering this type of problems, and then all together we can figure it out what to do. I hope you like the video, and see you in another expat confession.